Alright, hi everyone, and welcome to our last time management video. In this session, I'll be talking to you about how to choose a planner and other hands-on techniques that you can use when organizing yourself and managing your time. So first, let's talk about planners. I use a planner in addition to using Google Calendar. That might be seen by some as a duplication of work, but I really value the act of writing things down. It helps me remember things and remember to do things more easily than if I just put them in like a Google task list or something like that. I will put reminders in my phone if there's something really pressing, but generally, I really like writing things down. I use a planner. I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. But I really like having that in addition to my Google Calendar. I like to make lists. I'm a big list maker, so it's really great for me to be able to write that down. Sometimes I'll keep a small notebook to write lists in as well. If I have a lot of things to do, I do like to keep a small notebook just in case I do have to use that, or if I don't have room in my planner. I'll also use sticky notes to add lists to my planner if I ran out of space, or if it's getting too cluttered and I need to sort of think about, okay, there's a lot of writing here, but what's it actually saying, and what do I actually have to do? So sometimes I'll clean up my planner by just slapping a sticky note on there with a more efficient list. So I found this blog article, and it takes you through some different layouts of planners. I'm just going to show you a couple of them so that you can see what the difference is between planners and maybe get some ideas of what would work for you. So some things that you should consider before buying a planner, because I believe it is an investment. Some of them can get pretty pricey though, so think about what is within your budget, but what will work for you organizationally as well. You want to think about some of these things, if it's structured on an academic year versus a calendar year, what the size is. Sometimes I prefer a smaller planner, sometimes I prefer a larger one. So knowing what is going to work for you for that semester or that year is important when you're making that purchase. Sturdiness is real important. Even when I use a cardboard backed notebook for a class, even it falls apart halfway through the semester. So think about what material you want it to be made out of and how sturdy you want it to be. Writing space and organization is huge. If you don't need a lot of space, if you do need a lot of space, you're going to need a planner that reflects what you need. Extras, some planners have like stickers and other sorts of fun things and folders in the back, so think about that if that's something that you might want to spend a little bit more money on. That's something to consider. And cuteness factor, I go for simpler planners rather than cutesy planners. I don't like a lot of patterns generally, but I also don't like those kind of stuffy, not necessarily stuffy, but more boring and bland professional planners. So I do like some style in my planner. So I'll just take you through a couple of these so that you can see what the different layouts might look like with the pages. This one they said is from 2008, so we're going back with that one. Here's what an inside page might look like. That would be not enough space for me personally, but that's up to you to decide. Erin Condren is a really popular brand of planners, and they're like kind of cutesy, but also like they're cutesy enough that I wouldn't be opposed to owning an Erin Condren planner. And they do have some extras in the back, I know that. And they have a really cool way of organizing their pages. So they have weekly pages, but they have morning, day, and night boxes so you can make different lists. So I'm kind of into that. And they have goals and to do on the side. So that's pretty neat. and they're kind of color coded with the faded colors, so that's pretty cool. I'll take you through maybe one more of these, but there are a couple more on this page. So if you want to revisit this and check out some more from this blogger, then totally go to their website. This one I don't think might not be enough space for me again, but it is kind of cool how it's organized into me. It says kids and other. So if you have like different aspects of your life that you kind of want to compartmentalize, then that would be kind of cool. Okay, I'll take you through one more, and then that's it. Okay, so this one has monthly tabs on the side. You can see that. And this is also a weekly page. So those are just some examples of what some planners look like. I'll show you the one that I'm using currently, what the inside page of that looks like. And this is a larger planner, so it's about the size of a standard folder or notebook. So it's pretty big. I like having a lot of space. I can write out like where I'm going to be at certain times of the day, and then also things that I have to get done during those times. So I have a little list over here of like things that I want to get done while I'm at my internship. And I've also kind of color coded this a little bit. So my internship is in black, my class stuff is in purple, and my WRC stuff is in blue. Color coding might intimidate some people, but it really doesn't have to be that complicated. You can just use different colored pens. And then I really like that it has this notes box, so I can write some goals that I want to accomplish for the week. So this is what I'm using right now, and I like it a lot. Part of me wishes that it wasn't so big, but then it's also been kind of growing on me. Okay. So then I want to point you to some other resources that I found that I think are pretty helpful. So I found this website from New York University about time management, and there's some tips here that I'll go through a couple of them to talk about them more specifically, but feel free to visit their website as well. I think this is a pretty comprehensive list about effective time management. Spending time, so number one is spending time planning and organizing. I do this every week. Depending on what's going on during my weekend, but at some point during the weekend, I'll look at my Google Calendar and go through my week and what I have planned in my calendar and sort of transfer it to my planner so that I can conceptualize better what my week is going to look like and feel like. So it's one thing to have things in your calendar, but when I actually write them down and think about, okay, well, if I have to be at my internship from this time to this time, and I have to be on campus at this time, like how long is it going to take me to get there, and do I have to do anything before I go to class or something like that. So it kind of makes me think a little bit about what actually that day or that week is going to look like. So spending time doing that is definitely beneficial, and I highly recommend it. Setting goals is something that I've recently started doing, and I think it's been really helpful for me. I will set goals, so I'll make a list of some things that I want to get done. Whether it's, if I have a big paper coming up soon, one of my goals might be like write 3 pages of your paper this weekend. Whether or not I do that is one thing, but setting the goal is a good step. I think you're more likely to at least meet that goal a little bit, which isn't technically meeting it. But anyway, you can actually sort of get to a goal if you set one to begin with, if that makes sense. So if I if I wrote 1 page instead of the 3 pages, I'm still sort of better off writing just 1 page than if I didn't write anything at all because I didn't set a goal for myself to get ahead with my paper, if that sort of puts it into better context. Um, Prioritizing is also a really great thing to do. It's one thing to have a big old list of things, but if you don't know in which order you should be completing things, then that might get a little overwhelming. To-do lists, of course, I love those. We know about those. Flexibility, I think they're speaking to um, thinking ahead about things that could maybe go wrong. Um, if you are factoring in maybe transportation to get somewhere, if you're going for like an internship or an interview or something and you have to take the subway, then you should be planning for like missing your transfer or something at City Hall, or waiting for the subway for 15 minutes because SEPTA did something wrong. So those are some things that they, I think, are meaning when they talk about being flexible. So you should factor that time in when you're planning things. Alrighty, so I'm not going to go through too many more of these. The only one that I want to talk about is learning to say no. We are all very busy people involved in a lot of different things, and we're kind of stretched to capacity. So if one aspect of our lives is kind of trying to demand more than we can give, then it's completely fine to say no. Generally, if you tell someone, like, I have a lot going on and I just can't take that on right now, then that is respected, I'd say. It's better to be honest and say, I can't take on that project right now, or that's a responsibility that I don't have the capacity to take on right now. Then people respect that, and I think it's better for you and it's better for them if you say, like, no, I can't. So learning to say no is something that's hard, but something that I think is really valuable, and that's also hard for people like peer educators because we like to do a lot of great things. And so the last thing that I want to share with you is some resources from Dartmouth, and they have a Managing Your Time page. Here's the URL up here. If you just Google search time management resources, it should come up along with a bunch of other stuff. They have some handouts here, weekly planner, 10-week, 4-year planner, blah, 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 other stuff, videos, and then links to other great resources as well. So there's a lot out there, and it's important for you to remember that you're not alone in the struggle of managing your time. And there's tons of stuff out there. Thank you, Internet. So explore in many different ways. Explore through the internet, explore through your friends, through your work relationships, things like that. People are generally willing to help. And so that concludes our time management series. We hope you enjoyed this little thing that we put together for you, and that it's been helpful for you to explore some new ways of managing your time, and to point you to some resources that could really help you to do that. So we hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.